Hi everyone, Namaste. Welcome to my channel, VPK Nutrition, Mind Body Healing with Pushpa. I'm Pushpa Soundarajan and I'm a registered dietitian, an Ayurvedic practitioner and a yoga teacher. Stay tuned for today's episode. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is episode number 3. If you haven't watched my first 2 episodes, I would highly recommend you watch that because I covered a lot of basic principles of Ayurveda, comparing with modern medicine, talked a lot about body types and the personalities, and also how the digestion varies from person to person. So that's kind of an important video to understand the elements too. So please go back and watch those before we watch today's episode. So let's begin with the definition of Ayurveda itself. So Ayurveda is a Sanskrit word. It's split up into 2, Ayur and Veda. Ayur means life or longevity, and Veda means science or knowledge. So it is the science of life. Like with anything, even if you buy a household appliance, it always comes with an instruction manual, right? How to use it so that it maintains itself and it works well throughout the life of its life. The same way, the rishis of the ancient times have given us these wonderful tools to help ourselves keep our body healthy. So there are also 3 pillars, Trayo Upasthambaha, described in Ayurveda. First is Ahara, which is anything taken in through the senses. Then there is Nidra, which is sleep. And we know now in the modern medicine also they're talking about the circadian rhythm, how important sleep is for the healthy functioning of our body. Then of course Brahmacharya, which I take it to be like self-control, although it is translated as celibacy, which is also an important part of it to a certain extent, but definitely self-control in all indulgences is what I would take it as. So today we will be concentrating more on the Ahara aspect. Now, Ahara is a much broader term than just talking about food. So Ahara is anything taken in through the senses. So whether it is you're listening to something, or you're seeing something with your eyes, or you're smelling something, you're touching something, or of course eating, all of these things have an impact on our physical body as well as our mental body and emotional body. And that is very important to remember. So it is not just what you're eating, but also pay attention to the other things, because when your mind gets disturbed, then your digestion gets disturbed, your food becomes messed up. So a lot of things do happen. Again, food itself has a lot of influence on how we feel mentally and emotionally. So it has a lot of, and these are things I will be covering over the next few episodes. Let's talk about the disease process itself. So when it comes to disease also, there are 3 parts to treating a disease. So first is Ahara, which is food, and then or dietary habits. Then the second one is Vihara, which is lifestyle. Now the lifestyle includes a lot of things. It includes exercise, yoga, pranayama, daily routine, how to control stress and sleep. All of these things would come under the umbrella of Vihara or lifestyle. Then the third aspect, which is Aushadhi or herbs or supplements. So again, a lot of people, when I say I talk about Ayurveda or whatever, they always think Ayurveda means herbs. So what kind of herbs can I take? But really, Ayurveda has all 3 components. It has diet, lifestyle, and herbs. So herbs is like the third thing. So really 2/3 of this or even more is dependent upon diet and lifestyle. So if you can help yourself with those kinds of things, herbs may not even be necessary. So there is a beautiful proverb that says, when the diet is unwholesome, medicine is of no use. If the diet is wholesome, medicine is of no need. So remember, if you're taking some medication, even if it is allopathic medication, but if you're not following a proper diet, let's say you have heartburn and you have all these symptoms of acidity and things like that, and you're just taking omeprazole or Tums or some Mylanta to suppress acidity, but if you're not really changing your diet or your lifestyle, reducing the stress or getting good sleep, then none of these things are really going to help you long term. They're not going to fix the root of the problem. They might suppress the acidity for a little bit, but really speaking, we're trying to fix the root. So that is where Ayurveda is fantastic. You actually try to fix the root of the problem so you don't have this issue again later on in life. Of course, it is a slow process. It does require a lot of effort from you. But that is why we're here. We're here to learn. And even if you, no matter what stage you're in, you can always help yourself and give yourself some time to take some baby steps towards your health. Okay, so let's talk about ahara or diet in Ayurveda. As I've mentioned in my first video, the difference between modern medicine and Ayurveda is the food in Ayurveda is classified based on the taste of the food. Again, it's not just taste, which is rasa, right? Rasa means the essence of something. So every food has its own essence. So it's its own nature. For example, if you take a pepper, right? Its nature is always going to be fiery nature or spicy in nature. So even if you put it in the fridge or you cook it, whatever you do with it, it is still going to be spicy. But you can add other taste to it to make the taste different or subdue the fire a little bit, but its essence is still the same. So the foods are classified based on that. Again, taste is also something that you taste in the tongue. So we all know, we all understand what taste really is. And there are receptors in the tongue for every different taste in different parts. So when you take that particular taste, the signal goes to the brain to release the right enzymes and the right acids to digest that particular taste. So we'll talk about the 6 tastes of Ayurveda. They are called Shad Rasa or 6 tastes in Ayurveda. So the first taste is Madhura Rasa or sweet taste. Now the sweet taste is a combination of earth and water. So we are starting from the heaviest food. It's the grossest of the 6 tastes. So that would be, examples would be like all carbohydrate foods like dairy products and starches and even meats are considered to be. So about 80% of the food actually has sweet taste in it. The second taste is sour taste. Sour taste is a combination of earth and fire. A little bit of fire gets into that. So this would be, examples would be like lemon juice, citrus fruits, and some fermented foods. These are all give you that sour taste. We all know what sour tastes like. Now the third taste is lavana or salty. Salty, again, we know Himalayan salt, sea salt. There are so many different types of salt, and the salty foods have that taste as well. Now the fourth taste, it gets subtler as we go on from the top to the bottom. So the fourth taste is katu or pungent. Now pungent is spicy. So it will be, it is a combination of fire and air. So it is kind of subtle because these elements are also subtle. Then the fifth taste is tikta, which is bitter. Now bitter is very unique to Indian food. I've already mentioned that. Of course there are some other foods which are, and bitter always is a combination of fire and air. Air and space. So air and space, both of them are very subtle elements. So naturally bitter is also very subtle, and it is not something very pleasant in the mouth. But remember, a lot of the medicines are bitter, right? So bitter has a quality to detoxify for the body. And then the fifth one is astringent taste. Now astringent, or it's called kashaya, is not a taste you normally use, and it's really not something that you taste, but it's more of a property of the food that gives it that taste, which is like, for example, like dried beans and peas. When you eat those, they have that quality of pulling water, right? So that is what astringent is. So the examples will be like any of these dried kidney beans and chickpeas and things like that. Those all would come under that category. Now again, when it comes to examples for these foods and how these foods have an impact on the physical body and the mental body, and how they connect with all of the doshas, and how to pick the right taste for the right dosha, I'm going to talk about that much more in later videos. Today we are going to end with just the basics of what the tastes really are. So before I conclude today, I want to bring attention to these 6 days and how you could apply to your life. So this is what I would like you to do this week. When I want you to sit down and mindfully enjoy your meals or whatever you're eating, and feel the different tastes. Pay attention to how these tastes interact in your body. See how you feel with these tastes. Do you have any particular preference for a taste, or if you don't like some taste? So pay attention to that and write them down if you want. And also pay attention to the second thing I want you to pay attention to is cravings. A lot of my patients talk about cravings. They have cravings for sweets or salty foods or things like that. So I want you to pay attention and see if you have any specific cravings, and when do these cravings come? Is it after a day of work? Is it in the morning? What time of day? And what do you do when you have these cravings? So write these things down. And so next week I will try to talk a little bit more about the impact of food and the taste on our physical body, our mental body, emotions, and also how these cravings come about and what is their purpose. And there is such a thing as a healthy craving and an unhealthy craving. So we'll learn a lot more about those things. So I hope you would join me and have a wonderful week ahead, and please practice. And of course, please subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, VPK Nutrition, and check out my website, vpknutrition.com. And I will see you next week, and have a wonderful day. Listen to your body, observe your mind, and help yourself. Take care. Have a great day.